Is installing a modern glass and metal door a brilliant DIY move? Or the start of a very expensive mistake? Let's find out. But before I begin the process, let me show you the space that we're working with. And the opening is roughly 5 feet wide by 7 feet tall. But let's begin with removing some of the clutter and doing some prep work, because you know I'm about to make a massive mess. Oh yeah, remember this trim work I spent hours perfecting last year? Well, it turns out the doorway needs to be taller, so basically I just built myself a really fancy piece of firewood. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. What a waste of time and money doing that trim work last year. But what can I say? Mistakes are a part of my life, and I didn't have the foresight to see what I wanted last year. Sometimes DIY just takes stages. Oh, and you see what I'm doing here, removing these wall studs? That's because these door frame walls were dramatically out of square. I mean, classic builder grade spec home, right? It's like they handed the framer a level and he said, nah, I'll just eyeball it. But hey, that's why I'm on a mission to customize every square inch of this house until it finally looks like our dream home. Speaking of construction, is it just me, or have you noticed the construction standards have dropped over the past few years? I mean, it's wild. But I found out that our builder didn't even have to wait for the city inspectors to sign off on everything. Nope. Apparently, they used a third-party inspection service because they crank out so many homes they couldn't afford to wait. That sounds fine, right? Until you hear the twist. The builder owned the inspection company too. I mean, that's like grading your own test and giving yourself an A+. No wonder I'm finding things in this house that make me scratch my head. Now, with that said, I can't swear this is all 100% true or fact, but it is what a bunch of the contractor trades that worked on my house told me. And honestly, after seeing how crooked some of these walls are, it sure feels believable to me. But I know what you're thinking. Donnie, let's get back to the DIY door installation. So let's do that. Oh, and you see me here? I'm installing this wallboard instead of drywall, because I do have a plan, believe it or not. I'm about to begin the next process, which is going to be using a brad nailer to use nailable faux stone around this opening. Super cool project. But I wanted to do this trim work first, and I'm using this 500-year-old river-rescued Pecky cypress board as like a header. But then I decided, you know what? These white trim boards look ridiculous. So I removed them and added more cypress. Now it makes sense. After I put a level on it and added some brad nails, I noticed that my package arrived. Yes! And this is that metal and glass door. It was custom fabricated for my home in this opening. Wow. What a unique experience. And they packaged it so well. I mean, there was no room for error in these doors. With all the styrofoam and bubble wrap they had in there, nothing was going to break. But let's take it in the house and start assembling it. It seems to be a very simple process. The door frame consists of 3 pieces, 2 sides and a top, and they had pre-drilled holes and added screws where you needed to attach it. Pretty simple. The only straightforward thing there is to make sure you get this installed nice and square and level. That's the important thing. Anybody can do that if you just take a little bit of time and finagle it with some screws and a level. And I did. Plus a few shims. Oh, and you see me drilling through here? That's using those screws and the pre-drilled holes, but they came with these plugs. Pretty cool, right? So now you just come back and plug in the hole, and voila. You have a perfect cap covering the screw hole. If you're looking to DIY a metal and glass door with a really cool modern look, I definitely recommend this company. I mean, they really came up with a straightforward process, and they fabricate it to the exact opening size that you have in your house. You just measure the opening and then tell them if you wanted an in-swing or an out-swing. Super simple. Now, in my particular situation, I had to enlarge my opening a little bit because I wanted this door to be tall. And you see these hinges? They just slide right on top of each other. You basically just pick the door up and slide it right down. There's no screws or anything to try to figure out. And the handles are fixed. Pretty awesome and unique. Now after seeing it, I'm really impressed. Let's get back to that faux stone project, and here it is. Check this out. That looks legit, right? Just like real stone. It has a nice texture to it and a cool feel. And you've probably noticed me installing it in other videos because I've been doing it around my house. So it's going to make sense when you finally see the video of everything I've done in my home. But I'm just using 2-inch brad nails and going through the stone. We're going to nail each piece up and just make sure they're nice and level. Just remember, start level and you'll end level. But let me take a moment and thank Steel & Stone for sponsoring today's project and this video. It really wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you watching my DIYs. So thank you to Steel & Stone, and thank you to you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. Steel & Stone ships across the US, and they also make custom range hoods and custom awnings for your windows. Basically what I'm saying is they're metal fabricators, and with their products, you can really elevate your space. I think it's impressive. And here is their website and Instagram profile, but I'll have all their information linked in the description below. Now let's move on to the other side of the doorway. You know, I knocked down that whole wall, so now there's a bunch of construction to do. Now I'm adding some paint because I want that dimensional pop. You see, just like on the right side, I'm going to be adding that cedar trim, and the black makes it pop. And in case you're wondering about the color, I'm using Tricorn Black by Sherwin-Williams. It really has a nice shade of black. It's not too black, but it's not too gray. It's kind of just in the middle, and it makes it perfect. I really enjoy it. We've been adding it around our house for certain rooms and accents, and it really looks good. I have to say, don't be scared of black in your house. It really can add like a moody effect, and it's quite nice. It really makes things look custom. Now I'm going through with this cedar trim, and I'm making sure to use a separate one as the equal spacing. You know, you gotta start level and end level. And now you know why I used that plywood instead of drywall around the door. But I did use adhesive for the trim boards that were going over drywall. You definitely want to do that. And to use equal spacing, just use another one of those cedar pieces so that way you have the exact same thing. My son popped in and we talked about DIY and projects, and he just loves watching me do them. It's really awesome. It's a cool bonding experience. But check this out. What do you think? This is from the inside of my gym. Everything looks nice. And this door truly elevated my space. I mean, could you imagine there just being an opening here or a basic door? No way. This metal and glass door was amazing, and the DIY project itself was super easy. Oh yeah, check this out. I also just received this in the mail. This is my plaque from YouTube for passing 100,000 subscribers. Woo, what a milestone. I've worked very hard at that, and it's just been a lot of work. But I am really appreciative, and I'm loving the journey every step of the way. And what do you think about my home gym? Pretty cool, right? And these doors, they definitely topped it off. So I have to ask you, would you DIY it?